Hello, Zainey friends. Thank you for joining us today. We have another Marshall is unsupervised video coming up at you.
Yeah, this time we're going to be working with a zombie collab from the Geeks and Beauties group. So when I was building the Trick or Treat collab, I went ahead and built this for you. Definitely just for fun. It probably will not help you in your normal everyday life, but if the dead ever do get up and start walking around, it might be helpful.
And this is basically something that we're going to start doing where we do things in our bullet journal and trackers and things like that. And especially getting into the holidays, you're going to see a lot more of these. So make sure you tell us down below if you like these kind of things and you need to comment, because we want to hear from you, because you do direct a lot of what happens on the channel. I don't know if you guys know that, but you do. So make sure you comment down below for that also. So are you guys ready?
Are we ready?
For zombies? I don't know.
Realizing that Halloween is not just about candy and costumes, but a little bit about horror, I decided I might want to try and give you a little bit more time in the post-apocalyptic side with a little bit of a zombie tracker. This is based a little bit off of the Flash game In a Woods. This is all about equipping yourself with various items. There isn't too much actual gameplay to it, but what you're going to see is a listing of the different things that you might be carrying with you in your pack, as well as your ammo, your kill rate, things like that. What's important about this is if you are in a post-apocalyptic scenario, these kinds of trackers might help to make sure that you are staying light in what you are carrying. That's actually one of the rules of surviving, is to travel light. And the skillet, make sure you are using something that can be used for multiple purposes. Really quickly, we're going to start blocking off areas that are going to be used to denote the things that you have on you, as well as what you're wearing. We've got an illustration of a little man. You could have a little woman if you decide. This is all up to you because it's your zombie apocalypse. We have a bunch of different slots on here which are to represent the different things that you are going to need for your protection. So for example, you are going to need something to protect your head, such as a helmet. Let's just go ahead and draw a little helmet in there. There we go. And you're going to want to have some body armor. It doesn't really need to be that complex, just like a really good, solid, fluffy vest that'll not only protect you against the cold, but it might also protect you against some bites, and who knows, it might have some pockets on it that will make it easier to carry some stuff. Lastly, you're going to have just your ordinary clothes. And you think, well, why do I need to track my clothes in a zombie apocalypse? Well, as your clothes start to wear out, it will start to fray and you'll get holes, and then you might start getting bites and other diseases and things. It's just better to keep your clothes clean if you can. So not only do we have all the different kinds of things that you might be wearing while you are in the zombie apocalypse, but we have a little spot off to the side here where you can track just how many days in a row you have been wearing this since the last time you cleaned it. And that way you can make sure to, come back to it. Once you get new equipment, you can go ahead and draw a little different illustration there to show what you've got there. And if you don't have that piece of equipment, just leave it open. We're just going to then go in, because you also need protective eyewear. This can just be anything from PPE goggles to just regular old glasses, especially if you are nearsighted. You're going to want to make sure that you have some sort of glasses or contacts on hand, although glasses are preferable, so that you can see a little further away. Contacts, you're going to need to replace rather often. You have the fluid. Just get glasses. It'll be easier for you in the long run with a zombie apocalypse. Lastly, we're going to want to make sure that we have some sort of breath protection, because we have no idea if the zombie apocalypse is airborne or not. So you're going to want to have some sort of mask to protect. So a gas mask will work, but also in most cases a bandana, especially if you can get yourself some of those like charcoal filters and just like embed it between two bandanas. I don't know how well that's going to actually work for you, but it'll give you some extra level of protection for your breathing. The rest of these areas are actually for containers. For example, you're going to have some that you wear over your vest that is kind of like a tack vest sort of thing that is designed to have a whole boatload of pockets, specifically to carry ammo in, but they might also have other hunting gear. These are very helpful because it distributes the weight more evenly than other methods. Then you also have the option of little side bags, like so. Now, this could be a fanny pack, but it could also be a messenger bag if you so desire. I mean, fanny packs are nowhere near in any longer for fashion purposes. And then you've got the backpack. Make sure when you are deciding on which kind of backpack to get that you get something that's really sturdy, holds a lot, and feels comfortable. If you do manage to get your hands on a camping backpack, that's going to be really good because they have a little metal frame in there that'll make it so that it doesn't wear you out so much in order to carry it. This is going to be the spots for all the different things that you are carrying in them, and you want to try and go straight side to side with that. This is an area just for handheld items that you might be carrying in your pockets or, on hand at all times. That way you know exactly what you've got on. This is, I forgot to mention, this area right here is to keep track of your shoes and socks. If your shoes start to wear off in the zombie apocalypse, you might get yourself in a whole world of hurt. Not only would you have to start running barefoot, which could get you, tetanus, but you might also start to be more vulnerable to the elements, so like cold, burning your feet in the heat. And then socks are just, a little bit more for hygienic purposes, keeping the mold out and stuff like that. You're going to want to make sure that you not only keep these clean, but you replace them rather often for your own sake. So we've gotten through some of the major components of the zombie apocalypse gear that you're going to be carrying, but everybody's really interested in your weapons. You are going to be carrying weapons in the zombie apocalypse. Don't get confused there. You can't be a pacifist in this sort of situation. You're going to want to keep track of where you're keeping your ammunition, whether you're keeping it in this area or if you're just keeping it in some of your pockets. So I'm going to start lining out areas where you might write down what kind of weapons you have and how much ammunition total you have for each one. This area would be a little bit more useful for what would be considered your primary weapon, the weapon that has the longest range you're going to be using for assault purposes. So you would typically put like a rifle in here if you have it. Unfortunately, I completely lack a rifle. All I have is a bow. Fortunately, I don't even have arrows for said bow. Sad face, but I've got it. The great thing about a bow in the zombie apocalypse is that you can make your weapons as you go. You can just make new arrows out of the sticks you find in the forest. You don't have to necessarily go on over to a local hardware store to get a replacement like you would for crossbow bolts typically, considering those are not often made out of wood but out of like plastics and metals. Then this area would be for your sidearm. This would be for like a pistol or some other weapon that can fire at range but is much smaller. I don't really have one. We do have a melee weapon available. I actually have available to me a katana. So we're going to go ahead and put that one in there. Kind of an in-joke with those that try to plan for the zombie apocalypse that they always joke about people that say, "Oh, I've got a katana, I'm so awesome." So why don't you just go try and survive like that? It's probably not going to work as well as you think it is. We've gotten our weapons in here. We're going to have space for the ammunition. Fortunately, this melee weapon over here does not need ammunition. As I would start using up those arrows, I would just start crossing them off the list right there. Okay. You could also do something very similar with bullets and then just cross them off as you go through them. This is probably better used for like clips. Just keep track of how many bullets are kept in each clip. Typically it's about 10 to 15. Some of them go up as 20. So use this as a tracker of number of clips that you're using and just have a little note of how many that would be. Little pistol. Bang, bang. This last area is actually going to be a few different things. Actually, I'm going to block off an area here to keep track of our food supply, how much I would be eating per day, as well as how much I would actually have on hand. So I know generally if I'm rationing properly. This shows you how you might be able to use our food tracker. You use little cans over here to track how many meals worth of food that you have there. Then you have how much you actually expect to eat per day, and then that gives you a general amount of your rations. This can be kind of adaptable. So see how you work with it, and if it doesn't work with you, try to switch to maybe a different kind of tracker, maybe a sticker-based tracker. Oh, we lost the camera temporarily again, so I figured while we were going, I would just skip ahead and save us a little bit of time. Our final area is to keep track of the number of zombies you killed, the number of not so zombies you killed, and the all-important question, why you did it. This can range from anywhere from they were being mean to me to they wanted to take the baby. Yeah, it's whatever. This way, when people see it, they have a record. This is the reasons I've done the things I've done. And since this is your own personal tracker, they might be a little bit more likely to believe it than you just saying it to them. So this could keep you from getting killed. I don't know. Maybe. I can't guarantee anything. We aren't in the zombie apocalypse yet. If we are, then how are you watching this? If you enjoyed seeing me put together these two fun trackers, the Halloween trick-or-treat tracker and the zombie apocalypse gear tracker, I hope you did. Please tune in more and see some other kinds of planning that we will be doing. And until next time, stay zany.